Draco and his gang of lackeys, Crab and Goyle, cut a confident path through the swarm of students, their shoulders back and heads held high. They move like predators among prey, their footsteps heavy, their confidence palpable. Draco's grey eyes dart around the hallway, taking in everything with a practiced nonchalance. His gaze lingers on groups of people, sizing them up with subtle disdain, before he turns the corner into a slightly quieter corridor. As they reach the quieter corridor, Draco slows down, his strides becoming more leisurely. Crab and Goyle follow his lead, their hulking shadows flanking him on either side. Draco stops in a secluded spot, folding his arms as he turns to face them. "All right, listen up," he begins, his tone commanding. "I've got something to discuss with you two." "Potter," Draco starts, his expression hardening at the mention of Harry's name. "He's up to something, I can feel it. He's been watching me lately, I'm sure of it."
Crab and Goyle share a glance, their expressions a mix of curiosity and concern.
Draco's annoyance is evident, his grey eyes scanning the empty corridor as if expecting Harry to appear at any moment. "And I don't like it. I need you two to keep an eye on him, see what he's up to."
Crab and Goyle nod, their heavy brow ridges lowered in agreement. "We'll keep an eye on him, don't worry," Goyle mumbles.
"Good," Draco says, a smirk tugging at the corner of his lip. "We can't have Potter sniffing around, sticking his nose into my business." Draco continues down the corridor, his pace quickening as he leaves Crab and Goyle behind. He has business to attend to, and he needs to focus. As he walks, his mind drifts back to Harry, irritation flickering in his eyes. His thoughts are interrupted as he hears a group of students up ahead, their laughter echoing through the hallway. He stops, his grey eyes narrowing as he listens to their conversation. The group of students ahead is a mix of various houses, but Draco's attention is especially drawn to a group of Gryffindors. He recognises a few from Harry's little gang. Their carefree banter and laughter grate against Draco's nerves, and he clenches his jaw, his shoulders tensing. He considers walking away, but something keeps him there, listening in. One by one, the group of students notice Draco's presence. They fall quiet, the laughter dying on their lips as they turn to face him. Their expressions range from mild confusion to outright hostility.
A tall Gryffindor girl, her red hair tied back in a ponytail, shoots Draco a glare. "What do you want, Malfoy?" she asks, her tone sharp.
Malfoy smirks, his eyes sweeping over the group. He takes his time to reply, his arrogant facade firmly in place. "Just passing through, Weasley," he responds, his voice dripping with disdain. "Unless you and your little troop of Gryffindor do-gooders are planning something I should know about."
The Gryffindors exchange glances, their eyes narrowing as they realise who they're dealing with. Another boy, this one with messy black hair and glasses, speaks up. "We don't owe you an explanation, Malfoy," he says, his voice steady. "You're the one who's always sticking your nose into other people's business."
Draco rolls his eyes dramatically at the retort, feigning boredom. He doesn't dignify it with a direct response, instead choosing to continue walking down the hall. Yeah, save the heroic speeches for someone who cares," he mutters, just loud enough for them to hear. His pace remains measured, his chin held high as he strolls past them. Draco strides confidently into the busy hallway, his gaze darting around as he looks for you. His expression is a mix of annoyance and slight impatience, his eyes skimming over the sea of students. "Where the hell is she?" he mutters to himself, his eyebrows furrowing. "Come on, where are you?" he mumbles, his sharp gaze flitting from face to face, his steps becoming more hurried. Although Draco's irritation runs deep, he can't help but think about you. Memories of yesterday flood his mind, your laugh, your touch, your presence. Despite his best attempts to remain aloof, a small chuckle escapes Draco's lips. He can't deny it, he misses you dearly. The thought of you consumes him, making it harder to maintain his usual cold facade. "Bloody hell," he murmurs, running a hand through his hair. "How did I get so damn soft for her?" Draco's heart skips a beat as he sees you at the end of the hallway. His expression softens, a genuine smile tugging at the corner of his lips. He starts towards you, his pace almost leisurely now, his steps measured yet full of purpose. His grey eyes are locked on you, drinking in your every feature as he gets closer. Just as Draco is closing the distance between him and you, his path is blocked by Harry Potter emerging from a nearby corridor. The sight of Potter's face is like a cold bucket of water thrown over Draco, his momentary good mood extinguished in an instant. "Potter," he mutters through gritted teeth, his annoyance returning in full force. "What do you want?"
Potter's expression is stern, a hint of anger in his green eyes. He looks directly at Draco. "You're one of them, aren't you?"
Draco's irritation spikes at Potter's words and tone. He crosses his arms, his grey eyes narrowing in a glare. "And what if I am, Potter?" he retorts, his voice sharp and biting. "You got a problem with that?"
Harry's gaze hardens, his jaw clenching. "Your whole family's full of Death Eaters, aren't they?" he says, his voice laced with contempt. "You're just like the rest of them."
Draco bristles at the accusation, his body tensing. He knows the shadow of his family's past hangs over him, but the sting of Potter's words hits deeper than he'd like to admit. Draco's eyes narrow, his face hardening as he glares at Potter. He takes a step closer, his voice low and dangerous. "Watch your mouth, Potter," he growls. "You have no idea what you're talking about."
"Your father was a spineless, cowardly Death Eater," Potter sneers. "It's no wonder you're turning out just like him, a snivelling, entitled git."
Draco's hand moves lightning fast, drawing his wand with a swift, practiced motion. He points it at Harry, his grey eyes flashing. "Don't ever talk about my father like that," he spits, his voice shaking with anger. "You know nothing about him."
Harry doesn't back down, his chin raised defiantly. "I know enough," he retorts. "Your father is a disgrace, and you're well on your way to following in his footsteps."
Seeing Harry pull out his wand, Draco's grip tightens on his own. The adrenaline is pumping, the room charged with tension and anger. "Don't do something you'll regret, Potter," he hisses, his voice low and dangerous.
Harry's defiant expression softens slightly, his gaze flicking from Draco's pointed wand to his face. He lowers his own wand, the tension in his body easing slightly. "Fine," he mutters, his voice quieter now. "I don't want to fight."
Draco relaxes a fraction, but his guard is still up, his wand still held at the ready.
Harry lets out a frustrated sigh, his shoulders sagging. He turns around, his gaze dropping to the floor. The air is still heavy with tension, the animosity between them palpable. With an unexpected lunge, Harry spins back around, his wand raised. A hex is already on the tip of his tongue, but just as the spell is about to hit, you suddenly jump in the way, taking the brunt of the spell instead.
A cry of surprise escapes your lips as you're hit by the hex, the magic searing through your body. Draco's eyes widen in horror as he watches you fall to the ground, the shock momentarily breaking through his usual composure. Draco's heart races as you crumple to the ground, his mind racing with panic and anger. In an instant, he moves to your side, cradling you in his arms as he turns to face Harry, his eyes ablaze with fury. "What the hell did you do?" he roars, his voice filled with a mix of anger and fear.
Harry's expression is a mix of shock and guilt, his face pale as he realizes what he's done. He opens his mouth to speak, an apology on the tip of his tongue, but Draco's venomous glare stops him.
Draco's voice booms through the hallway, his face contorted with a mixture of worry and rage. "You could have killed her! What the hell is wrong with you?" he seethes, his grip tightening around you, his heart thundering in his chest. As you lie there, unconscious in his arms, the realization hits Draco like a punch to the gut. His gaze remains fixed on your face, his fingers gently brushing a lock of hair away from your closed eyes. The usual sharp edges of his expression are replaced with raw worry and fear. "No, no, no," he mutters to himself, his voice unsteady. "Don't you dare! Wake up, damn it!" Draco's voice breaks as he speaks, his eyes fixed on you. "That hex was meant for me," he repeats, his words barely more than a whisper. The weight of what's happened hits him like a freight train, and his expression crumples, his usual haughty demeanor giving way to raw emotion. "Wake up, please," he whispers, his voice breaking. You can't leave me like this." Draco's voice is sharp and commanding as he addresses the students who have gathered around the scene. "Well, don't just stand there," he yells, his eyes narrowed. "Call the nurse. Now." His gaze darts back to you, his expression pinched with worry. He cradles you gently, his touch far more tender than usual. Draco gently pushes a strand of hair away from your face, his touch delicate and trembling slightly. The guilt weighs heavily on his shoulders, and his expression reflects it. "I'm sorry," he whispers, his voice thick with emotion. "I should have been the one to get hit, not you." Draco's gaze flicks up from you, searching for Harry. But it's too late. Harry's already vanished, leaving them alone in the hallway. Draco's jaw clenches in frustration, his nostrils flaring as he glares at the empty space where Harry was standing. Draco's tone softens as his gaze returns to your face, his eyes tracing your features, his expression a mix of worry and tenderness. "Everything will be okay, baby," he murmurs, his words a quiet reassurance to himself as much as to you. "You're gonna be all right." He tightens his hold on you, pulling you closer to his chest as he cradles you in his arms. "Just hold on," he whispers, his voice quavering slightly. "I'm not going anywhere. I'm right here."